Hello everybody. This is a video going over the necromancy spells I am working on for custom servers. Anybody who wants to take this, the code for it, they can have it. I'll be uploading it here once I get a few more things done with it. But I thought I'd get a little player preview out there to see if we can get any player feedback on it. So right now I currently have 8 spells done with it. They are the basic spells that you would assume. Like we have the Spectre's Embrace. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the spellbook. Let's see, we have Lich Scrolls for Summon Lich. There's our Summon Skeleton spell. Vampiric Embrace, that is a buff. Agony spell, that is a curse. Amplify Damage will be another curse that you can put on any target. The curse spell itself, which is neat. And then we have Exhaustion, which is another curse spell. You're like, geez, there's a lot of curses and buffs and summons. Well, right now I'm getting the caster side done of it because I will be adding a few spells that will be affecting if you have weapons equipped and things like that. There are a few other things that deal with this right now. Like as you can see, I have Summoning at 100, Necromancy at 100, Magical Attunement for extra magic damage, the Affinity for more damage, the Healing Bandage skill, and then I have Channeling for the mana regen. So let's go ahead and open up the Tome of the Dead, which is our spell book. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and open up the Tome of the Dead, and we are going to go ahead and pull out some of the spells here. And I'm just going to line them up for you. So the first thing we want to do is I want to be more focused on summoning, so I'm going to put these on my hotbar for keys 2 and 3. This will summon the skeleton, and that'll summon the lich. In fact, let me change the... I'll be summoning more skeletons than the single lich. Currently, you can only have 3 skeletons that can be modified, and you can have 1 summoned lich. Now, the skeletons come in 5 ranking powers, and these levels of power are based off of your necromancy and your summoning. So the stronger your summoning, the stronger your summons, and the stronger your necromancy, the increased power of your summons as well. So it kind of comes from both directions. You could also just run necromancy for the basic DPS and not get the damage boost from having both the summoning and whatever. So for custom builds and whatnot. All right, so that's going to cover the summoning, and then the most common curse I'm going to use will be Amplify Damage, and that will make the target take more physical damage. Let's take a look here. What do we got? We got the buffs next. I'll leave Exhaustion out of it. It's more of a PvP one. What it does is that you curse your target for 5 seconds, and they get a movement speed debuff, where they go slower, and a slight stamina drain tick. Then you have, let's see, where's the other one? I think that's pretty much, and you got Curse. I apologize. This is like another one that I would be using for like PvP, so I'll leave these 2 over here. The Curse, what that'll do is let's say I'm at like 10 Necromancy, every 10 skill, or between 1 and 10 is what the debuff will be for the Strength, Agility, and the Intelligence. So those 3 skills will get knocked down by 10, which we know is a huge hit point loss, huge mana loss, and a lot of stamina loss. Which is fine because the Necromancer is more of a balance of energies and things like that, I guess, and when you think about it from a role-playing perspective, or how most games do it. Just trying to quickly get through this, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Agony Damage Over Time spell, because sometimes that's just nice to cast. I'll demonstrate that in a second. Now we have 2 buffs, one being Vampire's Embrace, and the other one being the Spectre's Embrace. Now with the Spectre's Embrace, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cast it and target myself. And you'll see that we get a increased mana regen. I'm going to go ahead and do Vampire's Embrace. And you can cast this on other players too. And I'll increase health regen. So as you can see, with the channeling and that buff, the mana regen is rather nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and try out on this bear over here. I'm just going to go ahead and cast the Agony. Now remember, Agony is going to be doing a good amount of damage. It's not a lot, but remember, I do have the affinity and the attunement maxed out. So, and let's see what happens on this bear. So as you can see, this grizzly bear is going to be taking damage, which is pretty variant. And that's going to tick 6 times. Alright, so now if we can go ahead and cast this again. Okay, so as you can see, with just the simplicity of being a high-end necromancer, you can kill simple farming, things like that. So it's good for farming leather, things like that, which is fine. Now, if you also want to go to a dungeon and take on a gazer, okay, here we go. We got a gazer just like the official. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and summon a lich to start taking the damage. And then remember, these are high-powered, high-end pets because I do have high necromancy and summoning. Now, if I only had, let's say, no summoning, I'd get the tier 3 skeletons, and I'd get the tier 1 lich. So what really builds the lich up is by having the summoning. Otherwise, you're just going to have a basic generic lich, and and each one have different names. Like you'll have lesser skeletons, skeletal knights, I think, are the end ones. But again, I'm just trying to describe the summoning system here, and that's just the basic of how it does. So if I take a skeleton over here, he's automatically going to see this as a target. Let's just go see what one skeleton does against that bear. All right. Now, the duration for the skeletons and the summonings are based off of your summoning and summoning skill. So the more skill you have, the longer your pets will last without vanishing. I believe the max on this guy is 65 seconds right now. But there we go. We had one skeleton go away there. Come on, skeleton, go away. Now, there is a spell I made for evocation that allows you to unsummon things, but only evocation gets it. If I have, let's show what happens on the skeletons here. I'm going to go ahead and cast my second and third skeleton. There we go. So now, here's my first skeleton, and I just want to go ahead and resummon. What happens is that the last skeleton casted is the first one to vanish on a new resummon. So now what happens when we get 3 of these guys out? Now you'll notice again on the description, summon a mindless skeleton to guard a location. These guys, wherever they're summoned, they will basically guard within a radius if they see anything that they're allowed to attack, which is not players currently, and other summons, but anything else is fair game. So they or invulnerable targets as well. But anyways, that's that right there. Let's go ahead and see if we can take out this gazer. I'm going to go ahead and show you what you're going to need to do. You're going to have to spend a lot of mana to do this anyways. We got both their buffs going. I'll throw a dot on it later. So let's go ahead and summon the lich. It should say Lich Lord, but it's really not as strong as a Lich Lord. It's just, okay, let's go ahead and get him out. I'm going to go ahead and summon up 3 skeletons, get those guys going. Alright, where's the gazer at here? Let's take a look at how he's doing. I believe our Lich is down. So I'm going to go ahead and summon another. Oops. Let's summon a Lich. I'm going to go ahead and curse the gazer to take more damage from physical. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast Agony. Get a little bit more damage in there. And we'll see if this can handle it. Looks like they're getting pretty close to taking the gazer out. Maybe I'll put another skeleton. We already had one die. And there we go. You can see I went through my entire mana process. We got our regular loot from our... And it's going to take some time to build your character up to get this kind of build. But this is just the casting side of the Necromancy stuff that I've been working on. As you can see, it looks kind of fun. It's not too clunky, and it still has the spirit of summoning, Necromancy, spellcasting. It's feeling and looking kind of good. Let me know what you guys think. Let your server community server managers know what you think, if you want it, if you like it, if you don't, what you'd change. It's all open-ended. So again, thank you for watching this small little preview on Necromancy.